Hi, welcome to Happier Ladies, a podcast where we discuss all things related to the Happier and Happier in Hollywood podcasts.
We're sisters
And super fans.
who can't get enough happier.
So we created our own podcast to keep the conversation going.
I'm Malika Amandi, a SoCal native living in Western Massachusetts, a new mom, and an entrepreneur. I'm here with my sister, Azizi Williams.
That's me. I live and work in the LA area. I'm a not-so-new mom. And I'm an education professional in the independent school world.
Azizi, we are in the same city right now.
That's right. In the same time zone.
Yes.
So exciting.
Yes. We are not in the same physical building because we didn't want to figure out recording in the same location.
That's the only reason. It's the podcast. It's keeping
Yes.
us a little bit apart right now, but that's okay because I've been seeing a lot of you the last couple of days, and it's been a lot of fun.
It's been so much fun. Nice to just hang out.
Yeah, we had a great hangout Sunday night.
Yes.
A lot of people over.
Yes.
It was very merry. It felt like the holiday season is here now.
And I have to say, I appreciate your directness because I had friends over at your house and the designated time frame was 3 to 6. And a lot of people didn't come till 5. And then some came after 6. And you were very gracious to allow us to laugh and have fun. And then, I don't know, around 7:30. No, it was 8. It was
later.
8. You came in and said, I have to go to bed. Everybody's got to leave.
I hope I didn't say it like that.
You did, but I know that's your style.
Your friends are delightful, and they were so comfortable and really had a lot of
Yep.
energy and did not seem to be slowing down.
This is theater people.
Theater people, that's what it is. Seemed like they could probably go all night.
Oh, yeah. They would have stayed.
I just kept thinking, I have to go to work tomorrow, and my daughter has to go to school tomorrow.
Which is fair.
Sorry for the record scratch end to the night.
Nobody was offended. It was time to go home.
We had many, many hours of catching up and crafting and eating good food. It was a holiday party, and it was a homecoming for you. So
Yeah.
I'm glad you got to connect with your friends.
Thank you.
It's always nice to see my nephew, and he's walking and talking.
Very nice. So, Azizi, what happened this week on Happier in Hollywood?
On Happier in Hollywood, episode 340, Liz and Sarah catch up with their high school friend and Hollywood insider, Todd Shulkin. They share a tip for binge watching without getting sucked in and recommended a favorite restaurant of Julia Child. I found the interview with Todd very interesting. I'm constantly surprised by how applicable their insider Hollywood writer, producer kind of talk is in my life, even though that has nothing to do with my life. There was something Todd said. He gets asked often, how does he manage so many tasks and projects and things like that? And he said,
Yes.
if you need to get something done, ask a busy person. And I so related to that. It made me think of this very podcast.
I had the same thought as I was listening. I was like, yep.
We are very busy people. I have learned now not to glorify busy. There was a time in my career early on where that's all I would talk about. I've learned to not talk about that. Actually, no one cares and it doesn't really matter. But we're busy people, and yet we find time to do other things. Somehow it all works.
Mm-hmm.
We had a listener recently ask, how do we manage to do this podcast? So I look forward to going into detail about that in a later episode. But yeah, I kind of feel that way. Bring it on.
Bring it on. But it's like the opposite of a profound truth is also true, where instead of simplifying things, making them more complicated sometimes is the way to go.
I remember Gretchen talking about that when bringing Barnaby on, right?
Oh, yeah.
Getting the dog. It's so busy, things are kind of crazy, and now I'm going to add a dog. And I know Sarah has added many pets.
Right.
And how could she possibly manage? But sometimes it actually makes things work.
Choose the bigger life.
The other thing that I definitely want to follow up on is their recommendation for the spot, which is a hamburger stand in Carpinteria. We're going to be out that way for Thanksgiving. So I think we need to put it on our list, and we're cramming a lot of things into the next few days. We can figure this out. I think we need to take a side trip to Julia Child's favorite hamburger stand and see how good it is.
Put it in the Google Doc.
I will put it on the Google Doc. So Malika, what happened on Happier?
This week on Happier, episode 456, Gretchen and Liz offer a variety of gift suggestions and an unexpected way to use the gift giving quiz, which we will talk about in a moment. But first, Azizi, is there anything on the list that you're going to get?
Gretchen talked about self outlining markers.
Mm.
I was listening to this as I was driving and I just went like, what? And when I got to my computer, I looked it up. They are the coolest things ever. And I will definitely be buying these, maybe for Sinai, definitely for myself. I'm a doodler, I'm a crafter. I think I can find a place for this in my life. And this episode, Gretchen talked about the gift giving quiz again.
Did you do it?
I did it for myself. What about you?
I did it too.
What did you find?
I am the enthusiast. And the enthusiast's motto is I can't wait to give it a try. I felt like this definitely tracks.
Yes.
Enthusiasts are engaged, curious, and adventurous. They're particularly gratified when a gift reflects their interests and their love of variety, experimentation, and being up to date. There's several other descriptors. I'll leave a little bit of mystique so that others take the
you
quiz.
have to go look at it yourself.
But it really felt accurate, which was fun because I do like variety and I like to have some things that are fancy and different, but it's not essential to me.
Well, Malika, I'm also an enthusiast.
What do you know?
Something we have in common.
Of course.
I also felt like, oh, I feel so seen now. This does describe me. I love novelty. I love trying new things. I love advent calendars and what's behind each little box. And this year I discovered discovery sets of perfume. Little teeny tiny bottles of 5 or so different varieties of perfume from one brand. I love it even more than just investing, $1 million in one bottle of perfume. I love just every day, like, well, how am I going to smell today? And it occurred to me that this might be why I can't seem to get into buying a handbag. I like quality things, but it's one quality purchase, and then you just this one bag. And
well, maybe you need to do Rent the Runway or something like that, where you it's like Netflix, old style Netflix DVDs, but for purses and high-end things. There's a few different companies. You just have it for a little bit and then you send it back and you get a new one.
Good idea. I should definitely give it a try. Something about the sending it back part feels like paperwork to me.
It's the post office. We've talked about that.
Something that I struggle with. So I might end up just owning and going into debt over all these things I haven't returned. But I get what you're saying, and I think it might be definitely worth a try. I'll think about that.
You know who else likes perfume discovery sets?
Who?
Gretchen Rubin.
Oh, you're right. You're right. Yes, this was in her Adventures in the Senses in her book. My husband is a huge scent person, and he is the one who got me excited about exploring that sense. I think that was probably one of my underutilized senses. So, Malika, in episode 8, I mentioned that I took the gift giving quiz for Daddy with him in mind.
Yes.
It came out clearly that he's a connoisseur, and this makes so much sense. This definitely tracks for Daddy. And now maybe we can have a plan for him. With this knowledge, maybe we could brainstorm a little bit. What could we give him? Yeah. And I'll say, Daddy, if you're listening, you can skip ahead. So you can skip ahead now.
I like the points there about going all in on something really exquisite.
Yeah. He likes technical things. He likes the newest experience. And so I actually was thinking if I could figure out how to get him to Vegas, that new Sphere, we could get him a tour of the Sphere. They have different experiences. Not the U2 concert because, that's $1 million also.
Right.
But just getting in and either watching a movie or seeing how it all works.
That's a really good gift.
I know that he would like that. The hard part would be getting him to Vegas, the scheduling and the logistics around actually traveling, even though it's not far from Los Angeles.
Okay. Well, I could get behind that.
Yeah.
Is it weird though if they have to get themselves to Vegas?
I could even drive them.
Wow.
Probably though, being the connoisseur, he'd want to fly.
We could do it. Okay. Because they always go to the basketball thing.
Yes.
So we should book it for that weekend or that week?
They do the Rookie League, and this lines up with a work thing that I often have to do that takes place in Vegas. And we could book a Sphere experience that's beautiful. I like this, Malika. This is doable. July.
Okay.
Okay. Done.
Now it's time for our segment, The Follow Through, where we revisit the thing or things we said we were going to do in previous episodes. In episode 3, Azizi gave the shortcut to happy suggestion to always use the massage chair. And I was wary at the time, but I said I would try it. And Azizi, yesterday, I went to We Spa in Koreatown, one of my favorite places in the world.
Yes.
And they had some fancy massage tables out in the Jimjilbang, which is the kind of common area.
What was special about them?
There were 4 cots with little wall dividers between them. There were also massage chairs, the traditional ones. I saw that first and was like, oh my gosh, I have to do this. You had to have cash.
All right, that's a good tip.
Always carry cash. But these cots were free. I think they were a promotional experience because they had information about financing. And so I think they want people to try them. I did. I lied right down on a cot. It was really interesting. It first did a scan along my cervical spine. And I only know that because the machine said, now I'm doing a scan along your cervical spine.
Did it actually talk to you, like in a voice?
The remote talked. Yes.
The remote talked?
Yes.
Wow.
It felt like a roller ball going down the middle of my back. And now enjoy your custom massage. Maybe it was 10 minutes, but it was really good. It was like a strong, firm massage.
Wow.
It was so nice. I did it twice.
Were there people in line?
There was no line. So the beauty of this place, We Spa, is that it's 24 hours. I was there pretty late at night. It was almost 10 o'clock. I'm so glad I did it.
This is the best possible use of technology. A lot of bad things are thrown around about technological advances, and this one is very positive.
I've had that feeling of getting up after a massage where your whole body feels kind of tingly and more relaxed.
Wow. Well, I'm so happy for you. I'm happy, Malika, because it takes a little bit of courage, to get on a cot that massages you, that no one has ever seen before in a public place. Also, I'm sure after a flight with a 1-year-old, you could really use some massaging. Good job for taking care of yourself.
Thank you. Azizi, how's your dinner game these days?
Well, Malika, I used to struggle with what to cook for dinner.
You're cooking now?
Okay. Actually, my husband used to struggle with what to make for dinner. I mean, meal planning, grocery lists, yuck. But then we found Prep Dish. It's a weekly meal planning service that tells you exactly what to cook. And now they've partnered with Instacart, so your grocery list becomes a ready-to-go online cart.
Oh, what's in your cart, Azizi?
All of the Prep Dish ingredients, plus I can add energy drinks, chili crisp, lipstick, whatever, and check out in just a few clicks. Shopping online is so fun. The meals are family-friendly, healthy, and super easy to prep. Dinner is easy to make, and now we look forward to new tasty meals.
Prep Dish is offering our listeners 2 weeks free. Just head to prepdish.com/happierladies to sign up. Again, that's prepdish.com/happierladies.
This episode is brought to you by LifeLock. When you visit the doctor, you probably hand over your insurance, your ID, and contact details. It's just one of the many places that has your personal info. And if any of them accidentally expose it, you could be at risk for identity theft. LifeLock monitors millions of data points a second. If you become a victim, they'll fix it, guaranteed, or your money back. Save up to 40% your first year at lifelock.com/podcast. Terms apply.
Our next segment is From the Archive, where we go deep into the vault of the Happier canon and reflect on an idea that's resonating now. And we are going to revisit Happier episode 145, Hacks to Help Make the Holidays Happier. This was all the way back in November of 2017. When I read these hacks, I got so excited because they resonate now. They're classics, and it's always helpful to look at a list before you enter into the holidays of suggestions and tips that could potentially make your holidays happier. I thought, Malika, we could revisit some of the hacks that Gretchen and Liz shared, and then we can also add our own spin or share some of our own hacks for the holidays as we launch into the season.
So, one of the suggestions is to ask the question, how do I want to behave? And this is particularly a good question to ask, especially if you're going into a family situation that you know is going to be tense or can be challenging. Instead of feeling stressed out about everybody else's actions or the way other people do things, to really shed some more, to really focus the attention on yourself and what you control in terms of your own actions. So asking the question, how do I want to behave? This connects to one of my favorite questions in life, which is, how do I want to feel? That's a good question to ask yourself also. And that could be in the holidays season in general or a specific event. Thinking ahead of time, how do I want to feel when I'm in this zone or time? And really considering, well, what do I need to do in order to feel that way? Or what do I need to believe in order to feel that way?
I like that because you talked about it in relationship to others and, potential conflict or challenging dynamics that you might encounter for the holidays. But this can also be if you're going to be with yourself over the holidays. There's also some things that you can do to make yourself feel a certain way. And I can see how it would be helpful to reflect on it first and then create a plan for yourself. I want to recognize and acknowledge that the holidays aren't joyful for everyone for a variety of reasons. But this doesn't mean that you can't still think about how do you want to feel and take steps to do those things for yourself. One of Gretchen's hacks was don't eat the free samples. And my hack is eat the free samples. I really appreciate where Gretchen is coming from. Maybe you're going to get into a situation where you are adding more calories than you want to, or you're getting into foods that you typically stray away from. But I say it's a special time of year and you might discover something that you really like that you didn't expect. A sample is so small, it's really not going to do much damage. So I am going to encourage you to eat the free sample. I'm going to go in the opposite direction for this one.
Spoken like a true enthusiast.
The novelty of samples. Most exciting part of Costco.
I love the suggestion to pick a holiday movie to watch. I would add on to that to watch holiday episodes of your favorite sitcoms. The Office, every season has a holiday or Christmas episode, which is fun to watch as a marathon.
Actually, not every season, but many of them do. I just had to say that.
Thank you. I know one of my favorite sitcoms, and yours is easy, is Frasier. And there are several holiday episodes. It's just fun to have that on in the background while you're doing whatever you're doing, wrapping gifts.
Yeah, I love that. It puts you in that holiday mood to watch other people celebrate the holidays also. So my next hack is to pick out a few go-to holiday outfits. So plan ahead and think about what's in your closet now and what you want to put together because, you'll likely be invited to either office parties or, social engagements. And you might need to buy a few things to make it feel festive or to make it feel special for yourself this season. Now is the time to think about what you have and plan accordingly and maybe throw in a holiday sweater or t-shirt. If you go back to episode 9, I talked about a purchase that I made with a Mariah Carey vibe to it. I'm encouraging you now to check your closet and see what holiday outfits you have.
I'm the person who is standing in front of their closet 30 minutes before I have to be somewhere, stressing out, trying everything on. So I think this is really wise to just pick out some things ahead of time. I have a wrapping paper hack, which is to use brown paper grocery bags. So you just cut them up the way you would use them to wrap books. Whatever logos are on one side, you can use the other side. And I like using brown paper bags because A, They're inexpensive, and you probably already have some. And it's really kind of sturdy wrapping paper. And you can really dress it up in very elegant ways by adding a special kind of twine. I've even seen people put like a rosemary sprig in there, or you can just draw on them. Like I've done things with just doodling designs right onto the gift using washi tape. And it just feels very fresh and creative while also being very classic. It's nice to see stacks of brown parcels under the Christmas tree. That somehow makes me feel very classical.
No, it's like a nice, clean, modern vibe. And another use for those outline markers, I think they would look fantastic.
Oh, yeah.
Also, Malika, I think we need to do a whole segment on washi tape because you are the washi tape princess.
Oh, man.
You know a thing or two about washi tape, and there may be people out there who are wondering what you're talking about. So another segment, we'll talk about washi tape.
Coming soon.
My last hack is to make room for the holidays. Now, I have for the last few years hired someone to come and take away all of our junk from our garage. Over the year, you just accumulate junk. I don't know how else to say it. Things that you don't use anymore, things that have broken, boxes maybe that didn't get broken down. And it's nice. It feels just psychologically like making room is what you're doing. So I would encourage you to just take the effort to go through your closets, your garage, and really just make room so that when you inevitably get new stuff, there's a place to put it. Also, so you know what you need. Do you need tape? Do you need wrapping paper? Just the act of going through your spaces will help you connect with what you already have and can use, so you're not buying things you don't need also. Clear the decks. Do what you need to do. Also, your fridge. This is a great time to clear out your fridge, throw away expired food. Some people would say or might do this in the new year, but I say do it now, and that way your holidays will just be a little cleaner and neater, and you'll have space to put things as you're bringing them in. And then later in the new year, we can evaluate why we have so much stuff we don't need. That's later. Later, we will figure out how can we reduce the amount of junk. Yes. Let's think about our choices in the new year. And just right now, just get rid of it. Don't think about it. Just do what you can to get rid of it.
It is a little bit off the beaten path. Most people are cleaning in the new year or in the spring.
You know, it's what Gretchen says, outer order, inner calm. So as you're thinking about that calm that you want to have going into the holidays, it makes sense to get things in order. And there's something about visually having space in your surroundings and in your environment that makes your mood better. And well, those were fantastic hacks. Thank you, Malika.
Thank you.
Our next segment is peaks and valleys, because in life there are always peaks and valleys. Even episodes, I do a peak and Malika does a valley, and so it's my turn to do a peak. This is episode 10. This is episode 10, Malika. Can we just say that for a moment?
I know. That is a peak right there.
That is a peak right there. But my peak is actually for my daughters, Ilea and Sinai. So Ilea came from the East Coast where she's going to college. She came with Malika and Malika's family. And I'm excited that she's here now. And she came just in time to help Sinai and I plan this party that we talked about at the top of the episode. So my peak goes to my daughters for being my party planning committee. These two ladies are ready. They show up, they ask what they can do, they help me not overthink every single aspect of my house, and they make throwing parties fun. And then they actually participate and they crafted with me. They built gingerbread houses. We made applesauce ornaments. It was so lovely. Those two ladies are my heart.
You all are good. This isn't the first party that you've done on a moment's notice. The three of you helped us throw a birthday party for my mother-in-law earlier in the year.
Yes.
So you were in a new city, you just arrived, and we were like, help.
From coast to coast, we are the party planning committee. And I am 100% Angela for the Office fans out there. I am like really dictating and having strong opinions and ideas about where things should go. I don't know where that comes from. However, I am so grateful to have the support, and it's fun. It's fun to plan alongside family. What about you, Malika?
So my valley is kind of an existential dilemma,
Oof.
which is just that long distance friendships are hard. I think getting to be back in LA, where I'm from, for a few days, particularly just connecting with friends. You know, that's the thing that I miss the most, is just the people. One of my love languages is quality time. So just kind of having a few hours with some good friends just felt so good. And it's also just one of those things about adulthood and growing up. People have to move for different reasons. And I think that's not realistic to be in the same place forever. And there's a lot of things that I love about my new location. And of course, there's new friendships too. I think it's just the bittersweetness of getting to be in the presence of some close friends, but also feeling that it's just too short.
Well, Malika, I think that's a great reminder, because we could take our friends for granted who live near us even. You know, you may only see your good friends a few times a year anyway if you're living in the city.
This is
but
true.
You've made it a point to connect and reconnect when you're here, and that's meaningful. You're a good friend, Malika.
Well, thank you. That brings us to the end of this episode. Zizi, let's leave on a happier thought. What are you going to try this week?
I am going to put those outline markers in my cart. Can't stop thinking about them. So cool. What about you, Malika? What are you going to try this week?
I am going to figure out at least 2 holiday outfits.
Good for you. I'll look in my closet to see if I have anything that you might want to take with you.
I love hand-me-downs. I mean, that is probably one of the best things about our sisterhood friendship, is like, I'm still getting hand-me-downs, and I always get compliments on your clothes. It's easy.
Oh, good. Well, that makes me happy. And you're also helping me clear my face. So it's serving 2 purposes. Yes. I'm making room.
Thank you for listening to this episode. If you like us, rate, review, and tell a friend. We are gearing up for a future Q&A Ask Us Anything episode. So if you have a question, let us know.
Send us a message at happierladies@gmail.com and tell us something you liked about Happier and Happier in Hollywood this week.
Our theme music was created by Wyatt Muncie, and a special thank you to Steve Williams for letting me record in his podcasting studio.
And we want to give a special shout out to Gretchen Rubin, Liz Kraft, and Sarah Fain for inspiring our conversation each week.
We are on Instagram at happierladies, and you can find the show notes for this episode at happierladies.com. All right, Azizi, have a happier week.
Have a happier week, Malika.
Bye.
Bye.
That reminds me of something Sarah said, or did Gretchen say it about Sarah? Oh,
okay.
I don't remember.
This podcast is part of the Sound Advice FM network. Sound Advice FM, women's voices amplified.